Okay, so I'm gonna have to find a creative way in. Oh, let's see. How can we pass the test if we don't know the rules? Yeah, fair point. So I'm beginning to think that I'm just gonna have to deal with Obelisk first, so that I can get into the temple. But I want to just check around here and see if there's possibly another way to get in. After one of the recordings, I was poking around down here, and there's this little this. Can I? Oh. Nope.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay, so you missed a little bit because I hit some weird buttons and it didn't record my first talk with him. So I came back because I wanted to talk with this guy. I told him, well, you'll see. So I'll let you know.
Join me by the fire.
Yeah, I'll let you know when I get into new stuff.
Welcome, welcome. May it's a tell me.
Okay, I found this. Oh, wait. Oh. Wait a minute. Huh. Okay, so hold on.
Then perhaps the fate I will the one let us.
Pluto, the god of the underworld.
Excellent. I see you. Now, will you join me in a friendly Socratic dialogue?
Okay, so we'll go ahead and do this because I want to give him the answer that he wants. Basically what happens is he was trying to get me to basically say, he was trying to get me to agree essentially to moral relativism. And I told him, well, I didn't give him what he wanted. So if I have to, the Socratic dialogue. So basically he's just going to ask a series of questions.
Good enough for me. Now, let me begin with a question. Would you say you know the difference between right and wrong?
Let's see. Yes.
And to what extent? In every situation?
In most situations.
So, you're not entirely confident. That is quite sensible. Indeed, I'm reminded of something Socrates once said. To paraphrase, better to know that you know nothing than to know nothing and think that you know. It is because knowledgeable people have learned enough to know they know very little in the broader scheme of things. You see, out there in the world, being uncertain about right and wrong was acceptable because our mistakes rarely had consequences. So we would tell lies and bend rules and turn a blind eye and rationalize, and yet still find a way to think of ourselves as good people. But under the golden rule, morality matters. The slightest wrongdoing could result in a mass execution. So to navigate this maze, we would have to be certain about the difference between right and wrong. Wouldn't you agree?
Okay. So I said, whose version of right and wrong? Because, I mean, when a god, a specific god, and in this universe there's a bunch of them, says this is the golden rule, then it is kind of up to him. Whose version of right and wrong?
That is an excellent question, and it leads directly to my next line of inquiry. So let me ask you this. Is there one system of morality which is always perfectly correct, which you could follow in every situation and always do the right thing?
All right. So, I say yes. Not that you can necessarily follow it in every situation, but there is right and wrong.
Let me guess. Is it yours?
Okay, so here's where I'm going to differ from where I did the first time, because my actual answer is yes, and I would guess you would say the same thing, because why would you hold to a system of morality if you didn't think it was correct. So let's give him what he wants, though. When you put it like that, maybe not.
And that's a credit to you. It is the mark of a civilized person to change their position when presented with a superior argument.
That makes sense, I guess. Let's see. That's a weird way of asking that. But yeah, I mean, if you're proven wrong, you kind of need to change. Let's see. So what's your point? What's your point?
My point is this. I don't think anyone alive truly knows any hard and fast rules about right and wrong.
Yeah, I like that. I'm not sure about that. What about do not kill? And there's plenty of rules that are pretty common to most cultures.
Surely you would agree there are circumstances where an exception may be made, such as where it is necessary for self-defense or to prevent a greater evil? For any rule, you can imagine there are countless situations in which that rule may be suspended, and those situations are impossible to codify. If there is one thing I have observed about rules, it is that virtuous people do not need them, and evil people will always find a way around them. And so we must accept our limitations, and the sad truth that no human society will ever achieve the utopia for which it strives. In mathematics, we would call it an asymptote, a line that can be approached but never reached. Because the only way to create a utopia is with the ever-present threat of force, such as the Golden Rule. This and no other is the root from which a tyrant springs when he first appears as a protector. And life under tyranny is no utopia at all.
Okay, well first, the translation is, you shall not murder. So that precludes self-defense. And secondly, how can you be virtuous if there's no objective right and wrong? I don't know if you guys have figured this out. I like philosophy, and I like to argue philosophy. I think it's fun. Okay. Yeah, I agree.
I'm glad to hear that. In any case, thank you for humoring an old man. I would be happy to answer your questions.
Yeah, because I told you what you wanted to hear. So as I was editing, I realized I didn't actually explain what happened during my first conversation with him. So what happened is I just took that idea that I have a worldview that I believe in, and I'm going to until I am proven wrong. And I just followed that through. And what that ended up doing was really pissing him off. He called me an absolutist, said that I was closed-minded and he couldn't teach me, and then just simply refused to talk to me afterward. Because, you know, that's that's the attitude of an open-minded person. Just refuse to talk to people that don't agree with you. But anyway, that's why I made the comment that I did. So I just restarted, and as you saw, I gave him what he wanted. What's your story?
You mean, how did I end up living alone in this cave with nothing but these relics of the past for company? It's a long story.
I'm listening.
I was a quarrelsome young man. At 19, I left Corinth for Rome to study rhetoric at one of her finest academies, so I could argue more forcefully. Back then, I used to enjoy verbally sparring with everyone I could, and I was good. One night, I found myself in a tavern in an argument with a drunk mercenary. It became heated, he drew a gladius, and I won the argument, but lost my life. I woke up on the banks of the Styx at a campfire opposite Karen. Of course, I tried to persuade her to let me return, but even with all my skill, I failed. I settled in, made friends, and learned what I could, quickly realizing our little community faced certain death under the Golden Rule. So I began looking for a place to hide underground. Fortunately, I found this place waiting for me. You see, I was not the first to take refuge here. I returned to my friends above, persuaded them to join me, and 12 of us descended for the last time to live out our days hidden from Hades' tyranny.
All right. Hades, you mean Pluto? It's the same thing. Greek name, Roman name. Why can't you return to the surface?
My generation was wiped out, turned to gold many years ago. My friends and I were able to avoid the same fate by hiding down here. I think it's safest to assume that if I was to return, Hades would realize that his furies hadn't finished the job, and he'd send them after me again.
All right, let's see. Why can't you tell me your name?
I fear that if you were to utter my name in the city, even by mistake, that Hades would hear you and know I am still alive.
Where is everyone else?
I'm afraid I am the only one left. There were 12 of us in the beginning, but one by one, my friends passed away. Some from malnutrition, others from madness and despair. It has been lonely. Before my unexpected visit from Kabash some weeks ago, I'd not seen another person in many, many years.
Ooh, okay. I wonder what they were eating. I mean, they've got water. I wonder where the food came from. Oh. I need to just shut up and read. How have you survived down here?
Living in darkness is not without its challenges. The first challenge is diet. Fortunately, I found that eating fresh fish provides most of the nutrients I need. And sometimes, when there are Greek people living up above, I surface at night and salvage the offerings they've left in the temple of Demeter. The greater challenge is the isolation, so I like to imagine arguments, where I argue both sides. But, like so many things in life, arguments are better with a partner.
All right, let's see. Yeah, somebody who can piss you off and then you refuse to talk to him. Let's talk about something else.
As you wish.
Let's see. Okay. Let's do Kabesh. Where can I find Kabesh?
I will tell you, but you may find him hostile. To prepare for your encounter, there are certain things you must know. Very few know this, but before the Romans came to this city, it was once entirely Greek. The architecture, the temples, and the people. When the Romans came, in typical fashion, they claimed it as their own, built over everything that could be built over, and renamed the things that could not. Thus, the Shrine of Persephone became the Shrine of Proserpina. And when they found an obelisk bearing the name Hades, they tore it off and replaced it with Pluto instead. And the city's dwindling Greek residents, witnessing this compulsive Roman conquest, decided to preserve what they could of their heritage. They gathered their art and valuables, secreted them away through the Temple of Demeter, and hid them here, out of reach of the Romans.
Let's see, I'm with you so far.
However, there was one thing that always seemed out of place to me, and it is the very thing you seek. An even older plaque bearing an Egyptian inscription.
Let's see. How did it get here?
We had no idea until years later, when the first of my friends began to die. As a result of their deaths, we began to dig catacombs branching off from this cavern to lay them to rest. We extended the tunnel so far that we accidentally discovered another, an even older tunnel, which somebody had gone to great lengths to keep hidden. Suddenly it made sense why there was an out-of-place Egyptian plaque among our people's possessions. You see, we proud Greeks had thought the Romans beasts for stealing and corrupting our heritage. But it turns out this game has been going on much longer than any of us imagined. I think it is best you head through the catacombs and follow Kabash's trail.
Okay. This had better not be a trap.
I assure you it is not, although it will be dangerous. I urge you to exercise caution. Take this key. You'll need it to open the gate.
Okay. Let's see. I'll be going now.
I'll chat, but please, keep my presence here a secret, yes?
All right, I will. All right, cool. Yeah, if he wasn't an NPC, I probably would enjoy debating with him. Friend of the philosopher. Oh, okay. So I probably should be, I don't know if it's going to be people or traps. There we go. Oh, hold on. Which one is... Okay. So that is... Okay. Got it. Had to figure out my buttons. Make sure I pull out the golden one if I need to. Ooh. Oh. Oh, hello. Uh-oh. Oh, you know, we must be underneath the... oop. Oh, I can't think right now. Palace. You know, I noticed the sparkling in the baths as well. I wonder if that means anything. Oh, I see. Ooh. Oh. Oh, that was awful. Oops. Is that up? Oh. Thank you, game. Let's see, is there anything up here? Yeah. An Egyptian plaque which translates to the many shall... Yeah, okay. So I wonder... Egyptian board game. Okay. I'm wondering then if it was passed on from... Oop. So I'm wondering if maybe this city was passed on from an Egyptian god to a Greco-Roman god then. Oh, this is really interesting. These statues look like they look different, but in a weird way. Like, I don't know how to explain it. Oh, there he is. Okay, we're gonna have to be careful with him, it looks like.
Stop. Do not come any closer. Who are you?
Let's see, I'm Arbitrary. Who are you?
I am Kabash. And let me guess. Another Greco-Roman come to loot and plunder the resting place of my ancestors,
Let's see. I'm just... Oh, do I look Greek or Roman to you?
Trousers, boots, curious here. No, I suppose you do not. Then what do you want?
I'm just looking for an Egyptian plaque.
To what end?
I want to return it to the obelisk.
That is welcome news. You really are not Greek or Roman, are you? I was planning to return it myself, but for now, I must remain. Here, take it and restore the honor of Osiris.
Awesome. Thanks.
Now, as for the other plaque.
The fourth plaque, you know about that?
Indeed, I have it right here. I stumbled across a collection of dusty curiosities while searching for a place to hide from the hungry children of Amit, and there it was.
May I have it?
You may not. In fact, I am about to destroy it.
Why?
Because it speaks a treacherous, blasphemous lie.
How so?
I will tell you, but first, do you know what this place is?
Not really, no.
Look around you. This place is the remains of the Duat, the underworld of my ancestors. See what has become of it. I have been down here for weeks, piecing together its story, and here is what I have learned. As Egypt declined and the Greeks had their turn to flourish, their souls came here in great numbers, but instead of adopting our ways, they copied and corrupted them. When they found the obelisk bearing the name Osiris, the true god of the underworld, they desecrated it, removing his name and replacing it with Hades. Even the ferryman of the dead, known to my people long before as Kerti, they renamed to Keron. As if that desecration was not enough, they built over this place, using it as the foundation for their own underworld, so that ours was forgotten. My only solace is that the Greeks then suffered the same fate when the Romans rose to power, renaming Hades to Pluto, and the cycle began anew.
I can see why you'd be unhappy with the Greeks and Romans.
I am glad to hear it, which brings me to this other, fourth plaque. It is inscribed with a script I do not recognize, but it is ancient, almost as if it is older than the plaque bearing Osiris's name. But if that is so, it would imply the gods of Egypt are mere imitations too, copied and corrupted from an ancient people who prospered even before us, and that my people did to them what the Greeks and Romans did to us. But this I cannot accept. I sense a deception. Perhaps it is the work of Set, the usurper, seeking to undermine Osiris once more.
I've tried to lie before and it didn't work. What does the inscription say?
You will never know. This work of sacrilege must be destroyed, thrown into the black abyss below in Osiris's name.
Let's see. Please don't.
You are too late. It is done.
I wish you hadn't done that.
It could not have gone any other way. It was Osiris's will. Now, the thing of evil you sought is gone. Why are you still here?
I'll be going now. Wait, what do you think is down there?
I do not know. What could possibly lie beneath the underworld? Perhaps it is infinite darkness. Perhaps it is the lair of Amit, the devourer of souls. All I know is, it would be unwise to venture down there.
Perhaps.
Most unwise.
I'll be going now.
Good. Be gone from this place. Wait. You are planning to go down there. I see it in your eyes.
We'll see.
I urge you, return to the surface with the Romans. It will be safer for you.
Nope. Oh, this is... Okay, so what is going to be older than the Egyptians? I gotta say, it's starting... Oh, here it is. Oh, Sumerian. Interesting. Plaque bearing a... cuneiform inscription. Negro the Fierce One. Trying to figure out the religious nature of the world in this game is starting to hurt my head. Like, are we going to find out that there really is only one God? There we go. Oh, can't go that way. Barricades, huh? An eroded set of barricades. It looks like these Sumerians were trying to defend themselves from something. Interesting. Well, I'm glad I didn't... Ooh. Corroded brass plate with a Sumerian markings on it. It appears to be a pressure plate of some kind of trap. Well, you have no idea how tempted I am. Oh. Maybe that was the trap. Wait. Wait. Oh, all right. Oh, no, okay. Maybe? I think you all know that's getting pressed at some point. I'll go up there in a second. I know you're all yelling at me. Oh, I can't go that way. Okay, here we go. Oop.
When I told you that you would not find a way back up, that was not a prediction. That was a promise. You will die here.
There's no need for this to end in violence. I don't think this is going to work.
I disagree. I warned you against coming down here, against perpetuating this sacrilege, but you persisted. You have undermined and dishonored the true God of the underworld. How did you think this would end, if not with bloodshed?
Just hear me out.
Very well, I will listen. But if I sense deception, or if you further insult my gods, I will carry out my threat. So tell me, why should I let you live after you salvaged this instrument of blasphemy?
Okay. If something can be destroyed by the truth, it deserves to be destroyed by the truth. There's no shame in building on the works of people who came before you. I'm just trying to replace all the plaques taken from the desecrated obelisk. Oh boy. He won't like this. I don't think he's gonna like this either. Let's do this.
Then you admit it. You wish to destroy the sacred beliefs of my people. I will not allow this. Many of my ancestors endured great hardship to live good lives so that we may descend to the Duat in death and be judged accordingly. We prepare to have our hearts weighed on Anubis' scales and to swear ourselves innocent of sin before the 42 assessors of Ma'at. And yet, I arrive here to find the Book of the Dead contained only a seed of truth. And now I ask myself, did our priests steal and embellish the stories of an older people and feed us lies all our lives simply to trick us into obedience?
Probably, but you can blame your priest for that, not me. Isn't being a good person a worthwhile pursuit in and of itself? I'm gonna go with that.
I am not sure I follow. Speak plainly.
Even if your beliefs about the afterlife weren't quite accurate, isn't the important thing they motivated you to live good lives? If you were only good in life because you expected a reward, were you really a good person? That's true. This is not as in your face, so I'm going to go with this.
Perhaps there is some truth in that. What is your point?
Are you going to abandon a lifetime of good character now that it matters most, just because you found out you were misled?
You are persuasive. Very well. I will let you live, and you may do what you will with that plaque. I will remain here for a while and attempt to learn what I can about the foundations of my people's beliefs. Go.
All right. Didn't have to kill him. Oh no. Oh no. Oh, that was so stupid. Oh well, that's his problem now. And to be fair, they shouldn't have placed me there after the cutscene where a guy was trying to kill me. So, not my fault. Okay, well, that was fruitful. So now it's time to go get the Greek? Yeah, Greek plaque. Because the mystery one was Sumerian. We've got Egypt. Yeah, all right. Feeling good. Things are coming together.
Carry the gift of Prometheus in your hand. Remarkable.